White Lies. Rated T. His name was Byakuya, the last of Naraku's children. He wasn't kind, he wasn't gentle, and he definitely was not nice. He was mischievous, he was playful, and he certainly was a little bit mad. He doesn't mind following orders as long as it sent him to far-off lands, and besides, he would rather be a follower than a leader. He loved seeing different sides of the world. He wanted to see it all, or at least as much as he could. He wasn't foolish, he wasn't a genius, but he was not stupid. He liked being alive, but he won't place high hopes and thoughts of freedom. He thought often of when Naraku would free him. He couldn't imagine it. He heard about his siblings had died, some living for barely a week before being killed. He didn't care. His siblings must have been morons. He heard of how one was able to read minds, and another living in the body of his younger sibling. There was also the random minor demons that Naraku would release, but they were never interesting to hear about. There was one sibling that stood out in his mind. She was a wind demon, and he thought she was pretty stupid. She was obsessed with freedom, and with this other demon named Sesshomaru. She wanted to be on her own and go to far-off places away from Naraku. She was tired of listening to him, and whatever chance she was able to get to be free, she would take it. It was surprising to learn that she was the one who survived the longest after Kana, the albino child, Kana. When he first met her, he was pretty surprised. She was the older sibling, the first one. Thoughts of doubt aside, he was pretty happy. He met someone who was in the same situation just as he was. Turned out she felt nothing for him, literally. Byakuya would try to make conversations with her, which usually ended up as one-sided. It annoyed him to no end that she never gave a reply, but he would continue chatting with her. He often thought what she might think of him, but those thoughts were always quickly replaced with annoyance when she just gave him a blank look back. When she died, he didn't care. Turned out she was obsessed with freedom too. However, he was a bit lonely. Just a bit. There were a lot of things that he was able to experience, and many more he thought never be able to. He met a variety of interesting people too. There was Inuyasha and his ragtag team, the odd priestess with the weird clothes, the monk who couldn't exactly be called a monk, a demon slayer with a demon for a pet, a fox demon that Naraku had never even bothered with. He wondered why the kit was there, when he wasn't even involved. That was when he learned of bonds. Byakuya wondered about it. What makes allies, enemies, and friends? Aren't allies made when one has control over another? If that's the case, then how come they were together? As far as he knew, there was no one overpowering another. What makes enemies? Another force going against another's wishes? He just wanted to do what he wants and live an easy life. Why did that make him an enemy? Byakuya never did think on these thoughts for long, since Naraku would give him an order for him to carry out. He didn't mind fighting Inuyasha and the gang. It was fun. His thoughts strayed everywhere, and when nothing else could be thought about, it would lead to freedom. He disliked even thinking about it, but still, they were his thoughts, and so he thought about them. What is freedom anyway? To go wherever you want. He could already do that. To be able to say whatever you wanted. He does that too. Having your own personality, as far as he knew, no one else acted like him. In a way, he disliked freedom. What can you do if you have nothing controlling you, or you have no reason for anything? Just to continue to live. Live by doing what? Wasn't he born from Naraku? Doesn't that mean he should do whatever his creator tells him to do? The two sisters, they confused him. They wanted freedom so badly. Why? To break free from Naraku. What did that mean? He heard that while you grew older, the questions from the past are easily answered. Like, why did he do this when he could have done that, or he should have chose that instead of this? When one dies, they don't have any more questions and answers are found. He learned that this was a lie. It's when you're dying that, sure, there are some answers, but there are even more questions. And even more regrets. He regretted not knowing the answers to his questions. He wanted to know so much. He regretted not being able to live more. He could have traveled. He regretted not being able to understand how his siblings felt until the very end. And most of all, he truly regretted wasting his time carrying out the orders of his father. He regretted not being free. Even if he would have been killed, he should have flew away. At least then he could have chose to die and did something for himself. He let out a smile. Oh well. What's done is done. He couldn't time travel, and he couldn't change the past. There's only what's beyond death to look forward to now. Is there anything left for someone like him? He wasn't created, or born naturally. He continued smiling as he thought his last thought. It wasn't fair. The end.